It's my privilege to be here in Gettysburg, hallowed ground where so many lives were given in service to freedom. Amazing place. President Lincoln served in a time of division like we've never seen before. It is my hope that we can look at his example to heal the divisions we are living through right now. We are a very divided nation. I'm not a politician and have never wanted to be a politician, believe me. But when I saw the trouble our country was in, I knew I couldn't stand by and watch any longer. Our country has been so good to me. I love our country, and I felt I had to act. I know how the game works in Washington and on Wall Street, and I know how they've rigged the rules of the game against everyday Americans. The rules are rigged. We have failed our inner cities and, in so doing, have failed our African American and Hispanic communities. We've misguided military adventures overseas and wars that go on forever that just cannot be won by the people that are doing it now. They don't know how to win the wars. At home, we have our great veterans dying while waiting for medical care. The fact that Washington and the Washington establishment has tried so hard to stop our campaign is only more proof that our campaign represents the kind of change that only arrives once in a lifetime. There are 24 million voter registrations in the United States that are either invalid or significantly inaccurate. And when I say that, there are such inaccuracies, it's unbelievable. 1.8 million dead people are registered to vote, and some of them are voting. I wonder how that happens. 2.8 million people are registered in more than one state. These are numbers, folks. These are numbers. 14% of non-citizens are registered to vote. The system is also rigged because Hillary Clinton should have been precluded from running for the presidency of the United States. But the FBI and the Justice Department covered up her crimes, which included lying to the FBI and Congress on numerous occasions, and included saying, I do not recall, to the FBI on 39 separate times. She recalls everything else, but 39 separate times she said, I do not recall. Well, that's a lie also. The dishonest mainstream media is also part, and a major part, of this corruption. They're corrupt. They lie and fabricate stories to make a candidate that is not their preferred choice look as bad and even dangerous as possible. At my rallies, they never show or talk about the massive crowd size and try to diminish all of our events. On the other hand, they don't show the small size of Hillary's crowds, but in fact talk about how many people are there. Very small crowds. You know it, they know it, everybody knows it. As an example of the power structure I'm fighting, AT&T is buying Time Warner and thus CNN, a deal we will not approve in my administration because it's too much concentration of power in the hands of too few. Likewise, Amazon, which through its ownership controls the Washington Post, should be paying massive taxes, but it's not paying. And it's a very unfair playing field. And you see what that's happening and what that's doing to department stores all over the country. Very, very unfair, and you're talking about billions and billions of dollars. They should be paying those taxes. Additionally, Comcast's purchase of NBC concentrates far too much power in one massive entity that is trying to tell the voters what to think and what to do. Deals like this destroy democracy. Every woman lied when they came forward to hurt my campaign. Total fabrication. The events never happened. Never. All of these liars will be sued after the election is over. But a simple phone call placed to the biggest newspapers or television networks gets them wall-to-wall coverage with virtually no fact-checking whatsoever. Here is why this is relevant to you. If they can fight somebody like me, who has unlimited resources to fight back, just look at what they can do to you, your jobs, your security, your education, your health care, the violation of religious liberty, the theft of your Second Amendment, the loss of your factories, your homes, and much more. Look at what they've done to you with your jobs. It has just been learned on video that the violent protests at some of my rallies, like in Chicago, where police and others were seriously hurt, you saw that, blood pouring down their face, were caused by paid DNC and Clinton campaign operatives. Now, we didn't know this. We didn't know this. This just came out 2 days ago on tape. We didn't know this. We were amazed at the level of violence. These were paid operatives, paid by the DNC and probably the Clinton campaign. This is a criminal act. Policemen were badly hurt, and so were many others. And these people should be prosecuted. I have no special interest but you, the American voter. I didn't have to do this, believe me. There's nothing easy about it. But I had to do it. I love our country. I love the people of our country. And I felt I had to do it. We now find ourselves at that very special fork in the road. Do we repeat the mistakes of the past, or do we choose to believe that a great future, yet unwritten, still lies ahead for us and for our wonderful, beloved country? I think it does. I know it does. On the first day of my term of office, my administration will immediately pursue the following 6 measures to clean up the corruption and special interest collusion in Washington. First, a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress. Second, a hiring freeze on all federal employees to reduce federal workforce through attrition, exempting military, public safety, and public health. Third, a requirement that for every new federal regulation, 2 existing regulations must be eliminated. Regulations are killing our country and our jobs. Fourth, a 5-year ban on White House and congressional officials becoming lobbyists after they leave government service. Fifth, a lifetime ban on White House officials lobbying on behalf of a foreign government. Sixth, a complete ban on foreign lobbyists raising money for American elections. First, I will announce my intention to totally renegotiate NAFTA, one of the worst deals our country has ever made, signed by Bill Clinton, or withdraw from the deal under Article 2205. Second, I will announce our withdrawal from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a potential disaster for our country. Third, I will direct my Secretary of the Treasury to label China a currency manipulator. China is a currency manipulator. But fourth, I will direct the Secretary of Commerce and U.S. Trade Representative to identify all foreign trading abuses that unfairly impact American workers and direct them to use every tool under American and international law to end those abuses immediately. Fifth, very importantly, I will lift the restrictions on the production of $50 trillion worth of job-producing American energy reserves, including shale, oil, natural gas, and clean coal, and we will put our miners back to work. Additionally, on the first day, I will take the following 5 actions to restore security and constitutional rule of law. We have to do that. Cancel every unconstitutional executive action, memorandum, and order issued by President Obama. Second, begin the process of selecting a replacement for Justice Scalia, whose wife, by the way, has a Trump sign. His wife is a phenomenal woman. Has a Trump sign in her front yard. Isn't that nice? I just found that out this morning. Boom. Isn't that nice? He was great. From one of the 20 judges on my list, you know we're going to make great decisions from 20 outstanding judges on a list that we submitted, who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. Third, we will cancel all federal funding of sanctuary cities. Next, I will work with Congress to introduce the following broader legislative measures and fight for their passage within the first 100 days of my administration. Middle Class Tax Relief and Simplification Act, an economic plan designed to grow the economy 4% per year and create at least 25 million new jobs through massive tax reduction and simplification in combination with trade reform, regulatory relief, and lifting the restrictions on American energy. End the Offshoring Act. Establish tariffs to discourage companies from laying off their workers in order to relocate in other countries and ship their products back to the United States tax-free. They leave the United States, like Carrier, like Ford, like so many others. They leave the United States. They fire all of their employees. They go to Mexico or another country. They build a beautiful brand new plant. They hire other people. They then take their air conditioners, their cars, whatever they're making. They send it tax-free across what will be a very strong border, believe me. But they send it tax-free across the border. And what do we end up with? We have unemployment, tremendous losses, and we have none of the benefits. So we will establish tariffs that when they do that, there will be consequences. We'll work with them. We'll be nice. We'll be fair. But there have to be consequences. And when they know there are consequences, our companies will stop leaving the United States and going to other countries. The American Infrastructure Act leverages public-private partnerships and private investments through tax incentives to spur $1 trillion in infrastructure investment over the next 10 years. Our infrastructure is in such trouble. We've doubled our national debt to $20 trillion under President Obama. In less than 8 years, $10 trillion has been added. Think of it. And we haven't fixed anything. We haven't fixed anything. What have we done? Our roads are broken, our bridges, our tunnels, our hospitals, our schools. And we have School Choice and Education Opportunity Act redirects education dollars to give parents the right to send their children, to public, private, charter, magnet, religious, or home schools of their choice. And so importantly, we're going to end Common Core and bring education supervision to local communities.
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you'd like to see some more. Thank you so much for watching.